What's up, my dudes? The Reflex Review Boy back at it again. Now, we got a classic today. This is the almighty Rubicon made by JamieT. Somehow, I have never done a review on this track. Don't ask me. Okay, I don't know how that's possible, but either way, here we go. So, this is one of the all-time legendary classical Reflex custom tracks out there, period. Spency boy tossing it. Okay. So, this is one of the best high-speed style. It's almost like a Reflex stock track, kind of pine toppy level, top speed kind of Reflex track, you know? A little bit more on the wider side, a little bit more on the, like, I would say you don't want to run anything towards the more acceleration side on the tuning on this kind of track right here. This is a jump daddy. Oh, Spency boy. Okay, we got some big old jumps on this thing, bro. Some T-sipping, whipping, ripping jumps on here, okay? That's a triple. All right. You can very easily pop off in these ruts if you're not careful. But yeah, setup-wise, I felt like running basically like right down the middle, like perfectly balanced between acceleration and top speed seemed to be a pretty good little vibe for this kind of a track right here, I thought, on a 450 anyways. Probably a little different on like a 250 or a 125 banger. Okay. By the way, shout out to all the fans. Bro, we're coming up on damn near a decade that I've had the channel going here on YouTube. I know I don't say it enough in videos, but major shout out to all of you boys been watching over the years. The fans, the haters, the in the middles, the whoever's been clicking on the videos. There we go. I knew I was going to have some pop-offs here, but I just want to say this is, this is what I do, dog. There ain't nothing else I want to be doing more than this right here. So, all y'all boys that click on the videos, you make it possible, bro. Woo, Spency boy. Okay. So, yeah, super top speed, high speed kind of track. You got to be a little careful or you'll, you know how on Reflex, you'll kind of dig your, I don't know if you dig your knee into a rut if you're going real fast but you will certainly pop off on these ruts if you're not, like, real sharp on them, you know what I'm saying? Got to be kind of little faster and faster you go, the more likely chance of popping off without being able to save it that it is on Reflex. So there's a couple spots right here you really got to pay attention to get enough speed, like this jump right here. This one's kind of tough. It's a little bit of a stretch. Okay. Yeah, real high-speed style track, which makes it a lot different than a lot of the other custom tracks on Reflex, because there's a lot of custom tracks that they're kind of like smaller and, like, you know, slower than stock tracks were for Reflex, but specifically the Rubicon here is more of it's a super hill vibe track, you know, that's a big aspect that separates this track. Probably one of the most elevation custom Reflex tracks that there is out there, I feel like. That's what I think really separates this one, really made it like a legendary track. You don't see this much elevation on most custom tracks out there on Reflex, and it's not like a crazy complex or amazing off track or anything like that. I mean, it's got some mountains and some objects and stuff here and there, but not anything crazy, right? So this is more of it's the on track that really makes this track legendary, I feel like, more so than the off track. But this track was made quite a ways back there, so this was also back in the days before they really started making the off tracks, you know, a lot better on Reflex. Gotta take this inside rut right here. Okay, but it'll help you a little if you blip the throttle just slightly before you go into some of these more defined ruts, more defined pre-made ruts. You don't have to do it on the ones that don't curve real sharp, but the ones that really get to curving and you're hitting them real fast, if you'll blip the throttle going into them, you can avoid doing like that right there where you basically just pop off on nothing. That'll happen to you on Reflex if you're not real easy with that rut entry, specifically on ruts like this. Like, you know, it's got some pretty defined pre-made ruts, I would say, on this track. It's got a lot of fun jumps on it. That's also what brings it around as well. It's a lot different than like your, you know, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross replica style custom tracks for Reflex. It's got a different roughness vibe to it. It's got a different speed level to it. Like I say, this is a lot more close to like your stock track, motocross track kind of vibe for Reflex. But I feel like it's got more pre-made ruts on it than a stock track would have. So it kind of brings together the best of both worlds on that. Whoa! Sometimes you get them perfect little whips on these jumps when you're going this fast. And you can kind of do some like wall riding, big ass berm wall riding shit in some areas too, which is cool. I know I have a lot of that on my MX Simulator custom tracks, where it's just like you're using a mountainside as a berm. You know what I'm saying? That's always a good time. Okay, that jump's not too bad if you really... Some of these jumps you don't want to scrub on, or you're literally not going to be able to make it all the way to the landing. Some of them you do want to scrub on, like this one right here, you can scrub on quite a bit and still make the landing. Some of them you got to stretch out just a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Here's one of those wall rides right here. Oh, man, that is fun. You don't see that every day. I'll tell you that right now, bro. So yeah, I just had to come in here and do a review on this track at some point in time. I thought, what a better time, bro. You got this cool, like, off-cambered first corner and then super uphill. A lot of uphills on this track. It truly is like you just plop down a motocross track in the middle of the mountains. Even more so, like, this, I feel like this track has more elevation than a pro motocross track would have, or like a stock track would have on Reflex. I mean, this is maximum elevation. You're always hitting some kind of a hill on this track, you know, of some sort. Major jump right here that you can scrub daddy off of. Lots of roughness on the landing there, but then you can snag this rut right here to be able to hit this triple right here. Let me try to take the outside right here. It's got a little bit of a burn, but that would just be slower than hitting that inside rut. And you got this jump right here. But yeah, this takes me back to the classical Reflex custom track days, like to the very beginning, like Return of DeeO kind of days. This is that kind of track design right here, you know what I'm saying? It definitely progressed over the years how the track makers, you know, were making these Reflex custom tracks. I feel like specifically like that 2014 to 2016, 17 kind of era was probably the best custom track era for Reflex. You could probably throw like 2013 in there as well, you know. Right around that time, you had like Return of DeeO, and then when I started up on YouTube and doing reviews and stuff, that I feel like that was the golden era of like motocross games on YouTube. Straight up, bro. That was like Reflex custom track golden era, MX Simulator golden era. It was just the shit, bro. There ain't nothing else to it, bro. Might even be able to jump that. Oh, okay, there's a little pop-off. There we go. So yeah, just remember, if you hop on this track, it is on the track manager. If you got that, shouldn't be hard to find online, like on Darkside's website. This is definitely going to be on all of your different websites and track managers and all that, just called the Rubicon, bro. Okay? Deformation just seems to add to the track, doesn't take anything away from it, just makes it better. So that's always a good sign. Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10, obviously. You know what it is, dog. 10 out of 10. Difficulty, I'm going to say, is medium. But it is high speed, so if you're not really used to going, you know, literally, you know, 6th or 9th gear tapped out on a 450, then you're probably... And not just that, but... on a 450 that is more like, you know, I'm not saying you got to go more top speed than acceleration, but to the point where it's not more acceleration than top speed at all. you know, at least down the middle. You could probably go even more top speed than down the middle if you wanted to, but you're going a lot faster on the kind of tuning. If you got your tuning set up right on this track, you're going to be going a lot faster on something like this than, you know, like a supercross, like a tighter supercross kind of, you know, engine tuning, you know what I'm saying? So it is kind of a different level of speed that you're going to pick up on this sort of a track, but either way, man, that's about it for this one. We just wanted to come in here to review some cool old school tracks. Definitely let me know down in the comments some other Reflex tracks you want me to check out, and I'll be sure and take a look. Either way, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. I'll see you boys on that next one. Later, dudes.